Hi everyone, I am Ajita and I am here today to talk to you about a very important topic. We're going to explore what is spirituality and how it affects us in our everyday life. So most of us, if I asked a lot of people, they would probably say, I'm not very spiritual, or they may say, yes, I am spiritual, but we don't really understand what that means and what that means for us. So if I were to ask you, you have a best friend, you have a significant other, you actually know them really well. Do you know yourself as well? Think about it. We invest a lot of time and effort in the relationships that we have that are outside of ourselves, where we don't really pay so much attention to who we are. And we are the person who goes into every relationship. So spirituality at its core is you having an understanding of who you are, you having a very deep relationship with yourself, and it's a process of self-discovery. And as you understand yourself better, as you get to know yourself better, you understand your relationship with the universe that we live in. You understand why you are here. You understand your purpose. You understand your very own unique talents and gifts that you are here to share with everybody. And as you get to know yourself better, as you make these discoveries, you become far more efficient as a human being in everything that you do. You become a better partner, you become a better daughter, son, person at work, because you know who you are. So you have a best friend and a significant other in your life. So if I asked you anything about them, you'd be able to tell me so much about them, their likes, their dislikes, this and that. But if I asked you the same question, how much would you be able to tell me? If you were to write an essay, you would probably come up with what you like, what you don't like, what your goals are, what your ambitions are, where you're going in life from a practical perspective. But if I asked you, who are you? Really? Think about it. Do you know? Have you spent any time in trying to figure out who are you? What is your place and position in this world outside of being a daughter, a son, a wife, a person in an organization? How do you fit into this world? Have you ever thought about that? Spirituality at its core sense and its core level is you developing a relationship with yourself, understanding who you are. And once you have that knowledge, then you can take that out into the world and start to create and attract the right people, the right opportunities that go hand in hand with who you are and what it is that you want to do and achieve as your purpose in life. The true, unique gifts that are only yours, and those true, unique gifts that the world needs, that only you can give them. That is spirituality. We don't become spiritual in one day by reading 10 books or watching 1,000 videos. All that information that you get actually stays here at the mind level. Spirituality is centered here in your heart space, where your soul resides, where what we call the higher self resides. So you have to take a lot of that information and bring it down. Better still, because everything about you, you already know it. It's about remembering it. So it's about bringing it out of your heart and taking it into your brain. That is spiritual awareness and becoming conscious. As you start to increase in your awareness and your consciousness rises, one very uncomfortable thing starts to happen. And in spirituality, we actually call it shadow work. So we have an aspect of ourselves, and we all know that aspect of ourselves, where a lot of negativity, fear, worry, shame, regret, resentment, all of those things sit in that space. A part of the spiritual cleansing process is for you to come face to face with each one of these not very desirable feelings and traits that we carry, understanding where they come from. It's not an easy task, but that's a part of the process. Why we have them, what makes us feel that, what are our triggers, and then one at a time, you learn to cleanse it out of your soul and your system. You learn to heal, you learn to release it. And as the shadow side decreases, then the light that is within us, because we're in our core pure, the God source. You've heard this all the time, that we have God that resides in us. What does that really mean? It means that all the fabulous traits of the God source, of that supreme energy, part of that is what we're made of. And the whole job of spirituality and spiritual awareness is to reduce what we have accumulated on our human journey in our human lives and eliminate that and let your natural light shine. Make sense? Okay. As we go through this process, it's tedious, it's long, it's extremely painful. There'll be days when you can't get out of bed. There are going to be days when you're going to cry. Excuse me. I've had a bad throat, and but this video was important, so I wanted to make it. So here I am. It's going to be hard, but don't let that deter you. Keep moving forward. And as you continue to move forward, you're going to be engulfed in this positivity. You're going to be able to look at people and situations from oftentimes when we're in a bad situation, we always immediately blame the other person. That, they did this, they did that. So what that does is it takes control away from us. It gives the control to them. Now we have no ability to control anybody else or change anybody else. So what does that do to us? It makes us feel like we're stuck in life, that we don't have the ability to make any changes. We don't have the ability to achieve our goals and our dreams because X, Y, and Z is this way. As you become conscious and spiritually aware, and as you do this cleansing work, you take that blame away from a person and you start looking within yourself to understand what can you do differently? What possibly happened that this situation was created? You start to look at things from a very creative way. And automatically then many situations and solutions start to come to you. And all of a sudden you're not stuck. Then you can take path A, path B, or path C, or whatever that seems appropriate at that particular time. Now, many of you probably do this every now and then. That's using spiritual principles in your daily life. As we become more positive, we move into a higher vibrational space. It helps us with good health. Then you're eating right, you've got more energy. It helps with better relationships because now you're able to interact with people in a far healthier manner, far easier manner. You're not triggered so easily because you don't take things personally. You understand where they're coming from. You give them the benefit of the doubt that okay, maybe they got off from the wrong side of the bed, or they're having a bad day. It's okay. It's them, not me. One of the things that may also happen, will happen, is you're going to start to look at situations and relationships in your life, and you're going to look at them very critically, and you're going to analyze them to see what's working and what's not working. And you will probably end up letting go certain people. You're going to come face to face with some of your belief systems. And you're going to recognize that, oh, this doesn't serve me. You're going to have a different perspective. And when you have a better perspective, then you're able to take that and translate that into better opportunities. You're going to start to attract the right people that are going to help you in achieving your purpose in life. You just become a person who has so much more faith. Faith does not come from religion. Faith comes from knowing you are all powerful. And that is a spiritual concept. You become so much more empathetic. You start to look at the world as one. You start to see how you fit into it, how you impact it, how everything is connected to you. And there's that beautiful relationship and that synergy that starts to come in place. And your life seems to be far more balanced. Another beautiful thing that happens is that we become so much less judgmental. First of ourselves. It's okay if we, make a mistake. It's okay if you weren't able to, send your presentation at a certain time. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying become lazy, and start to sort of, not do your best. But there are times and opportunities when we cannot. And it's okay, we don't have to beat ourselves up for it, And that's understanding who you are, accepting who you are, and bringing your true, authentic self into every situation and into the world. So learn to be kind to yourself. Okay, that's a very big mantra in being spiritually enlightened. Now we've been talking about spirituality for a bit. Let's talk about how you can enhance that or start walking the path of spirituality. More and more people are starting to talk about this idea and this concept. More and more people are inquisitive about it. More and more people are wanting to invite this into their lives because they are hearing from, YouTube and their friends, and there's this whole buzz about becoming spiritually aware. Meditation, and I'm sure you're all rolling your eyes, but is one of the easiest ways to get in touch with yourself. What does it really mean? So I'm not going to ask you to sit under a tree for an hour, in some asana or anything like that. I'm just going to invite you about 20 minutes every day. Put away all of your devices. If possible, even sit in a dark room, because darkness enhances all the other senses within you and outside of you. And just sit. Sit in stillness. Try not to think about what you have to do tomorrow, or the conversation you had with somebody. Those thoughts will come. Just don't follow them. Don't continue that conversation. And being in that stillness it's a really magical process. You start to become so much more aware of so many more things within and without yourself. Practicing forgiveness is very important on your spiritual journey. Let go. Somebody may be unreasonable to you, even unfair. It's okay. It doesn't change a situation or who you are. Just let it go. Practice gratitude. All the time be in a space of gratitude. So for example, even if like somebody offered me something for my throat just now, a little halls, that soothes my throat. Immediately I'm in real gratitude for that person and for that halls, because it makes me feel better. So nothing really huge has to happen, nothing monumental that is the only time, when you get a big award that, now you're in a space of gratitude. No, every little thing that you're happy about, just say thank you. Just say thank you and just leave it out there. And it will reach wherever it needs to. And the beautiful part about this process is the more you're in forgiveness and gratitude, the more opportunities the universe will give you to be in gratitude. Your life is going to start to unravel for the better. Journaling, for those of you who know what that is, and is just a simple process of, at the end of every day or at the beginning of every day, different people do it differently, write down your thoughts, some special events, or anything significant or even small that comes to your mind. Write it in a journal every day. It seems like a really silly exercise to do, and that's why a lot of people don't do it. But there's great power in that. Don't do it on your laptop or on your phone. Take a book, take a pen, and actually physically write. There is a process that happens that is it helps you offload a lot of things. It helps you get clarity. And when you go back certain events, certain days, and you read what you have journaled, you are going to see it starts to give you a slightly different perspective. Maybe you were very angry on January 2nd of 2020 for a certain situation. And then in March, you have a similar situation. And when you go back and refer, you realize that, now I'm not having so much of a reaction. And you understand why you were, more hurtful or more angry or sadder in January, but in March you're doing so much better. And it gives you that reflection and therefore the clarity. I apologize, I think this video has really gone on, is much longer than I anticipated, but the topic is such, and I assure you that the 10 minutes or the 12 minutes, whatever this is going to be, the duration of this video is going to be the shortest spiritual sort of entanglement that you will have had. As you embark on the journey, it's a long journey, and be ready for it, but please commit to it, because with every little step that you take on this journey, there's only incredible happiness that you're going to experience, and you're going to live a life that you actually dream of. You're going to impact people in positive ways, and so it's just good overall. It's good for you and it's good for the world. Thank you very much for listening. I really appreciate it.